So Tommy, thanks for joining me today. What made you go into the practice of law?
Well, I just found the law to be interesting, and it impacts so many different areas that, and I think that's what attracts people to the television shows on the law. People are just interested in how the law impacts our daily lives.
Now, think back and give me your best legal moment.
Well, I hope it hasn't come yet.
A great answer.
I really like to think that yesterday's gone and tomorrow's what's ahead. And, you know, quite frankly, that's a difficult question to answer because I have had a number of great moments. I will say that having participated in sports and some great sports teams as an athlete in high school, I've known some great moments of the exhilaration of victory. Nothing compares to getting a verdict in trial. When the judge comes out and reads the result of a hard-fought case against good lawyers, and your client has made a recovery through your efforts, it's a high that I don't think you can get anywhere else.
Now, I don't want you to give away your age, but how many years have you been practicing?
I've been practicing 35 years.
And what areas of law interest you the most, and which areas do you really excel in?
Well, I think that my practice has always been trial work, and I particularly like representing people that have been injured. I typically like representing individuals as opposed to companies or corporations.
Was there an impact moment for you in your life?
When I was in high school on spring break in Port Aransas, some friends of mine were driving down the beach, and there was a beach house on fire, and we pulled up to put the fire out, couldn't, and we left. We then returned, and somebody had indicated that we had set the beach house on fire. They'd seen us leaving from the beach house, and we were actually going to get help. And at that point in time, they didn't have records of telephone calls and that sort of thing, so we were arrested for arson. And it was a hard telephone call to call my dad and tell him I was in jail for arson, but he got a lawyer. We hadn't done anything wrong. We had actually tried to be there to help. And when that lawyer came in and made me feel comfortable, I said, this is what I want to do. And the comfort that a lawyer gave me when I was a scared 17-year-old, not having done anything wrong, propelled me to want to do what I do today. And I think had a lot to do with me getting in the side of the injured people versus insurance companies and corporations.
So when a client is hiring you, tell me what he's getting when he hires you and your firm.
Well, I think first of all, he's getting a passionate desire to right a wrong, to correct an injustice. The people that we represent typically have been injured badly, and we oftentimes, I think, have a real zeal to make sure that the litigation comes out right. In addition to that, we have a lot of experience in the area, and we've actually tried a lot of cases. A lot of lawyers hold themselves out as trial lawyers, but they really don't have the experience that I and my firm do.
Now, I heard you're passionate, about your practice. What else are you passionate about in life?
Well, I think, I guess it's pretty much like most people. I'm passionate about my family. I'm passionate about the things that I do that, I do for fun. I don't think that a person can be passionate really in one area of their life and then somehow not be passionate in another. And I think that, I bring that to probably almost everything I do, and perhaps sometimes to a fault.
What the public doesn't see is the amount of collaboration that goes on amongst attorneys. Your firm may work with other firms in an effort to get the client what he's really looking for. So why do other lawyers and other law firms like to collaborate with you and refer you your cases?
Well, I think lawyers refer us cases because they recognize that we have the greatest ability to do the best job for the client. A lawyer shouldn't take a case that he isn't adequately equipped to handle. So we think lawyers send us business because we're the people that ought to have those cases. The collaboration among lawyers, particularly among plaintiff lawyers, I think is one of camaraderie. We're all on the same side. We're fighting big companies, whether it's Halliburton or KBR or Toyota or AIG. We're fighting big companies, and so there's always comfort and safety in numbers. So we tend to collaborate against the other side.
How do you help your clients manage the stress of a lawsuit?
Well, I'm not sure that any lawyer really does a very good job of that. we tend to get lost in our own chosen area to help them, and that is trying to make a recovery in their lawsuit. Although the tragically injured and those that have lost loved ones, helping them through the grief and the period of time in which they're having to deal with what they've been through is something that we just do on a day-to-day basis by telling them what we're able to do for them. I mean, if a person has hired our law firm to help them because of a tragic loss, then they know we're fighting for them and we know what their loss is. And I will say that with respect to that I think people recognize that a lawyer that goes down and fights for them and loses is better respected than a lawyer that makes them take a settlement. I've seen lawyers force clients to take settlements that they weren't happy with, even though they may have been good settlements. And the client, what they really appreciate is a lawyer that's going to fight for them.
Tell me about your team at your firm and how you all work with your clients.
Well, I think the most significant thing about our firm that may differ from other firms is people don't leave. The people that work in my firm have been there for a long time. And I think and I take that as a personal accolade that through my management and leadership, although sometimes I don't think it's what it ought to be, it's enabled me to have consistency with the people that work there. And as a consequence, when you work with someone 10, 15, and some of the people 25 and 30 years, you learn how to get them, to motivate them to do things, and they certainly learn your expectations. And if it all starts at the top, then people know what my expectations are, and it's not something we have to worry about.
Now, do you see yourself stepping away and retiring anytime soon? You got a bright future in front of you still.
I don't think I see myself, retiring. I think that I didn't realize how much experience counted. I do today. I realize what I bring to the table that I didn't have 25 years ago, and I still enjoy it. And I like the side that I'm on. I like representing the people that I represent. As I indicated, I don't have to take every case. I take those cases that I like, and I take those cases that I believe in, and I take those cases that interest me, whether it involves a lot of money or not.
So that's a great point. What's the difference between Tommy Fibich 25 years ago and how you look at a case and how you treat your clients versus the way you do it today?
Well, I think 25 years ago, I thought I knew more than I know, and hopefully that didn't show, but I certainly, I don't think anybody can be a trial lawyer and be effective without having a degree of swagger and a degree of arrogance. And I think I had that 25 years ago, but it may not have been as substantive as I think it is today. Today I'd have less of a need to take every case. I take fewer cases and take those cases that interest me, as opposed to 20 years ago when I may have needed to take a case even if I didn't like the client or something like that.
And so once you do step away from the law and just enjoy the rest of your life, how do you want to be remembered in the legal field?
Well, I think I would like to be remembered as a lawyer that whose word was his bond. In a city this large, there's lawyers that make agreements that back away from them. I want people to say that Tommy Fibich never did that. If he made an agreement, you could rely upon it. I would like people to think that I did some good for some people, and that they got the full measure of what I had in court.